everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I did the design in our second part to our blood splatter nails. This video is just going to be the design only. If you want to see how I did the fill, the nail prep, and what I built the nails with, the enhancement, go ahead and watch the blood splatter video. Today we're just doing design only. We have spiders, a striped nail for BeetleJuice, nod, and little it with the lover, loser, and balloon. So first we're going to start off. These are metal charms, and a lot of times you see them around the cuticles, and we're going to repurpose them. And I'm also using some Swarovski crystals in various sizes. I can't remember the sizes. I think I use a 16, a 20, and a 9, and a 7. I'm using the Stay Put jelly from Daily Charm. It is a crystal gel. And I'm using this knockoff crystal katana. It's not the real crystal katana. Kelly, please don't be mad at me. I have like 3 of them. It's just what I was using in this video. I love a crystal katana. It's definitely worth it. This is not the same quality. So I'm going to start off by putting the crystal gel on the nail in a surplus. And I don't actually have enough at this point because you see that little arm is kind of sticking out. It won't stick into the gel because I just don't have enough, and I have not figured that out yet. My past self doesn't know that's the problem, but I will be figuring it out here soon. So I'm just using these pieces, and there's bigger kind of arches and smaller ones. So I'm using some of the slightly smaller ones towards the middle 2 arms, I believe, and the bigger ones on the outside kind of arms, legs. I don't know. Are they arms or legs? Whatever. So I'm just taking, again, a whole bunch of that crystal gel, and I'm applying and sinking these pieces of metal and crystal into it. You can get top coat and crystal glue on top of the metal pieces. Actually, you need to top coat the metal pieces that the metal doesn't tarnish or wear away. So just don't ever get any crystal gel top coat or glue on top of your crystals. They'll lose their sparkle. But on top of the metal pieces, it's just fine. So once I get everything where I want it and get that spider shape down, I'm going to go ahead and have her cure it in the light just to make sure it's set. And then once it's cured, I'm going to take some more of that crystal gel, and I'm going to build it up around the tips. And I'm sorry it gets blurry sometimes in this video. This is me actually working, so sometimes I don't catch that it's blurry because I'm kind of focused. But I'm building up around the edges of these metal pieces because the lip can get caught in hair and fabric. So if we build up around those areas with a clear product, and then you want to fan it out so you don't get a line of demarcation, so you don't see where the piles of that gel are. So you just feather out the edges. But if we build up in those areas, it'll help it from getting hair and anything caught in there. And, you know, if you have less things getting caught, the least likely you are to lose any crystals or charms. So I applied 2 crystals with crystal gel and cured them. And then I'm taking a liner brush from Wildflowers Nails. This is their blue striper brush. And I'm using that gold and just drawing little legs. I don't have any small pieces that are the arch, and we actually seen a set that kind of helped inspire this, where she did do a 3D one and then drew a little smaller spider, and we thought that was cute. And that part's just really simple. So next we're going to be doing the stripe nail, and this one's pretty simple as well. I wanted to stick this in even though it's simple so you guys can kind of see my hand motions and how I work on getting these straight lines, and also so you can see the polishing and how beautiful this perfect black from Madam Glam is. When you apply black, I always tell you guys you need to apply it very, very thin, because if it's too thick, it can have a hard time curing. This is with any dark colors specifically. Gel polish in general, you need to apply very, very thin coat, especially when polishing black or very dark colors. So I applied 2 coats of the black, cured in between each coat, and now I'm using that same blue long striper brush from Wildflowers Nails, and then I'm going with the white that I have, and I'm just using regular gel polish today, the Perfect White from Madam Glam. And I'm just pulling the line through and doing these stripes. We're just doing 3 simple stripes, and this is going to be our kind of Beetlejuice nod. So for all our matte effects today, I'm going to be using the Velvet Matte Gel Top from Daily Charm. It's a no wipe gel top coat. And I've really been liking it a lot lately. I've used it in a lot of my recent videos, and we chose to go with matte on a lot of the nails. We're going to go ahead and leave the spider nail shiny and kind of add shiny details to some of the other nails. But as you guys know, on the blood hand, if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and do it. We did the contrast of the matte and the shiny. And so for our top coat, I'm trying out another top coat, you guys. I didn't use the Vetro Gold Line, but it is a good one to use. I say it all the time. I'm not tied down to one good no wipe top coat. A lot of them do hold up pretty well that I have found. So I'm testing another one out in this video. I like the Joy of Mia gel top coat too, if you're curious. It's a no wipe. So I'm just top coating on top of those charms like I told you, and around the crystals. So I'm going to be using this white charcoal pencil and kind of doing a rough draft, a sketch of where I want my letters to go. These letters are not supposed to be perfect, so they're supposed to have a little bit of a hand-drawn feel to them. I just want to make sure I could get them, kind of proportionate and even middle part of the nail. So that's what I draw just real quick. And I'm actually using the Presto Bambina liner gel. I dished it out, and I'm taking the blue striper brush from Wildflowers and just tracing over the lines that I drew. So just as simple as I drew them, I'm just going in and following through with the lines and making sure I keep the thickness of the lines consistent throughout all the letters. And you can see I'm using the actual brush from the Presto Bambina liner to get some of these smaller areas. So I use both the liner and this brush throughout the design process.
Skin from the gel polish.
These are the reds I'm going to be using. I use this red specifically, that darker royal red, the Chat one in the balloon, and I'm using the perfect red to do our V over our S. Now this is cured. I cured the black first. If not, we're going to have a streaky mess of drawing red through black. And then I'm just using that striper brush, and I'm sorry it's kind of blurry, guys. So I'm just writing just a V, kind of just a little messy. And then I'm going in with our matte top coat. And again, we wanted that contrast. So after I matte this, I'm going to cure it and then just trace over that V and the shiny just for that contrast and for it to stand out. And honestly, me and my client don't even know what that has to do with it. We just seen it on a lot of nails, so
we're fakers in that regard, posers. I don't know what that has to do with it, but she liked the design, and I was like, yeah, I could do it. So that's how that came to be. So next, I am doing our spiderweb nail. Again, out of focus, I'm sorry. I polished this nail black, 2 coats of black, and I polished my matte gel top coat, the Daily Charm one, and cured, of course, in between all the layers. And now I'm using the top coat. Again, you can use the Vetro Gold line, your favorite no wipe top coat. Please make sure to no wipe. It's going to make this so much easier. And probably a thicker one would make this easier. If you get a thinner one that runs, you're going to kind of lose your design. So this is a little bit of a thicker top coat. And I'm just going in with the same striper brush we've been using. And I've drawn the lines at a diagonal, kind of like a starburst, starting from one point and spreading out. And then I'm going in and connecting it with these kind of parentheses looking lines from each diagonal line, as you can see. And that's going to give our spider web look. And I'm curing it in between a lot of these lines. So I'm like kind of doing a few and curing to make sure it doesn't run too much or I don't, smudge it. And then just as simple as that, it's just it's 4 lines and a whole bunch of C's. And that's it. We don't have to do anything more because it's all top coat. And next, I'm going to do the balloon. Personally, I find it easier to make a round shape or an oval type shape using a daughter tool and kind of starting from the center and going outwards, like kind of rounding those edges and pushing them out as you see me doing. A balloon is kind of more of an egg shape where it's a little more bulbous at the top and kind of tapers down a little bit. So we're going to make that shape and then add a little notch out for our knot, our little tail and our string. So we're going to push out that little bottom part. And then while this is wet, I'm going to take that darker red, that royal red from the chat, and I'm going to start on the left side. This is where our shadow is going to be, and go ahead and add some dimension. So while the perfect or brighter red is still wet, I'm mixing in that royal red. And that way we can get a good gradation. We're literally mixing those colors together on the nail. And then as it gets closer to that left side, we're adding more of the darker red. And we just wanted to do this so it didn't appear as flat. Out of the inspiration pictures we've seen, we preferred the one that had, kind of the 3D effect. It kind of gave it, I don't know, it just looked creepier when it was like this, just a single balloon. Again, it's a reference to it that we actually both are familiar with. So I went ahead and cured that after I mixed the colors. I kind of got that shading going, and I realized I needed much darker on the left side. So I used the liner brush to add that solid wall of darkness and depth. And then as it goes from the left side to the right, I'm mixing more of that brighter red with it. So I'm using a mixture of this liner brush, the brush from the Perfect Red Gel Polish, and I'm just mixing those colors together, again, having it very dark on the left side, or kind of that solid royal red, which is that dark red. And then as it goes over to the right, kind of fading it out to that brighter red. So you can see I'm just kind of trying to mix those colors, and I'm adding a little bit of detail with that royal red, that depth, to kind of look like our knot where our string is tied to. So I just added a few little lines in the bottom to kind of mimic that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cure this in the light. And then I'm going to go and add our light lines. I can't think of the appropriate name, to our right side. So our light is coming from our right. The left is dark. So we have that depth or that darker color. And so we're just adding this little bit of white so it looks shiny on the right side. And then I'm just doing the balloon string. I wanted to do a balloon that was kind of at an angle and the string just kind of floating down. I didn't want to do it where it was just straight up and down on the nail. Just gives it a little more character. So then I went ahead and cured everything, and then I'm applying the matte top coat. And then I'm going in. We want a little bit of that contrast, so I'm just making the little white light lines shiny. And that's our final look, you guys.
So I really want to thank you guys for watching today. If you haven't checked out the blood splatter video, go ahead and check that out. It's a really cool effect. I really love how that hand came out too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave any comments below. Just don't leave a comment that her pointer finger is crooked. We know it. They're her natural nails. This is how she likes them. Appreciate you guys for watching. Go ahead and let me know below what other kind of videos you want to see for the holiday season, any trends, anything like that. So again, thank you guys for watching. Bye.